Good morning, everyone. I am going to do something a little bit different today. Um, Normally, for those of you who see my videos, I try to focus more on landscape photography and some wildlife, but I wanted to do something a little bit different, just to give me a little bit of a challenge, to kind of give me a break from wildlife photography landscape photography. While I love it, I just want to do something just a little bit different for this video. So, as you can see behind me, I am here once again at Pocahontas State Park, and this is one of the lakes that they have here. And all the way, where you see my hand, there's all the trails back in there that I go hiking through, and many times, whoops, we'll go this way, and many times you'll see my videos and some of the images that I've taken there. So, but today I'm going to, like I said, I'm going to do something different. And what I'm going to do different is I'm going to focus on more either plants or insects, kind of a macro photography, if you will. Now, I don't have a macro lenses. All I have with me, excuse me, all I have with me is my Canon EOS 60 Mark II camera with a 24, I had to look at the lens, with a 24 to 105 millimeter lens. Now, that can get me zoomed in pretty good, but it's not quite macro lens. Now, for those of you who don't know what a macro lens is, it's basically a magnifying glass that is designed to attach to your lens, whatever lens you have on your camera, and designed for that particular lens. Anyway, so what that means is that with a macro, you can really get in close. So let's say, for example, you want to take a picture of a fly or a bumblebee. You can really get in really close and get some pictures of the eyes or the face of the fly, and you can really see the detailed design of how God made that little fly. And for me, it's fascinating to try and understand how God can make such a small little insect. Because they have to have brains and the eyes and the sense of smell and their organs to feed and to eat. And so I don't know how all that works, but it is kind of fascinating. So anyway, so that's kind of my goal for this morning. I don't plan on being out here too long like I would if I was hiking 4 or 5 miles here in the park and doing landscape photography. So, but like I said, I wanted to do something a little bit different, and let's just see what I can come up with. This might be beneficial and I don't know, fun, or it could just be a complete bust and just blow up in my face. I do want to point out, though, a few videos ago I had commented that I had lost my drone. And right somewhere over in that area is where my drone crashed. And as far as I know, it's probably still sitting there. It didn't make it all the way to land. It landed somewhere in the marsh. You can't really see it from this point of view, but there's just like some seaweed and lily pads and stuff like that, so it crashed in there. So anyway, let's just move on, and like I said, let's just see what happens, and hopefully this will be something you'll enjoy. One thing I did want to mention is that not only am I just using my camera at my 24 to 105 lens, I am not using a GoPro or a drone or a tripod or any filters of any kind. Excuse me. I'm just going real minimalistic here. And I think the benefit of that is that it really hones in on your, or at least my camera ability. What I've learned over time, the past few years taking pictures, and oh, it's getting a little dark in here. And but it's nice to recognize that all of these filters and lenses and all these new stuff that's been coming out rapidly in these past years for camera or photography, it's pretty cool. But it's really good to, at least for me it is, to get back to the basics. I remember when I was in high school, when I took photography in freshman year, we used film. We had a dark room, but before we were allowed to use a dark room and a real camera, we had to make a camera. And so we would get a box. I think I'd use a shoe box, and took a close or a pin, a real like a needle, cut a hole in the box, and punctured a little hole. And I to be honest with you, I can't remember exactly how it worked, but I got a box, punctured a little hole, put the paper in there, I guess a negative, went out, counted how many seconds, took it back to the dark room, put the paper in the emulsion and water and all the other chemicals, and there was my image. So it was really fun. The whole process was really fun. And so I think it's really good for me to get back to some of the a little bit of the basics, the fundamentals of photography. Challenges me. And it's kind of fun. I've already taken some images, and obviously I'll be posting them here soon. So, I don't know, let's keep going. One of the most frustrating things I'm dealing with when it comes to shooting insects is shooting an image or taking an image of a spider in its cobweb. And it is so hard and frustrating because the lens automatically goes and focuses on something else, whether it be the background or anything but the spider. And man, that is so frustrating. So I've had 2 or 3 opportunities. I was able to get one image of one particular spider, but a couple of other spiders, I just couldn't get it. And it's just time to move on before I really go over the edge. Anyway, let's just keep going. Okay guys, so far I'm having a good time. Come up with a couple little challenges, trying to photograph some spiders, as I kind of mentioned before. But right now I just want to show you my process of shooting, taking some images in this context. So I don't know if you can see, but right here, without killing myself, right here we have, I don't know what it's called. If you can see that, let me see if I can get in here. Okay, see that right there, that white thing. Okay, so what I'm going to try and do is I'm going to zoom in on that and try and get a clear, sharp image as best as possible, and experiment with different focal lengths and different settings. If I want to go use 1/100th of a second or 1/4000th of a second, and just kind of experiment a little bit and see which options I like. Okay, now I'm about to take an image of this lily pad. Let's see, right there. And I know that images of lily pads have been done to death and then some. But here's what I like about this one here. It may be hard to tell through the camera, but there's a reflection. And so what I want to try and do is capture the white little flower there, and in between it, to the left of the flower and then to the bottom right of the flower, kind of get a balance there. And I just think it looks kind of cool with the reflection and composing that image, it kind of gives it a balance. So I'm going to give it a try, and hopefully it'll work. Okay guys, so that's pretty much basically it for me today. It was fun, the challenge was fun, it was good to get out and do a little hiking as usual, like I always say. But as of right now, I am planning to make another trip to another location in the Shenandoah Valley to do some waterfall photography. And the location, I think it's called Rose River Falls, I believe is the name of it. So in the meantime, I hope you enjoyed this short little video. And again, I'm not expecting any great images. It's just something for fun, a little challenge, self-imposed. I've seen a bunch of other people on YouTube doing similar things, so I figured why not give it a try and be real minimalistic. So anyway, until next time, we'll see you then.